delay. Right, guys, we're going to learn today a little bit about basket weaving. Hope you've got your worksheets there. If you have, then we'll do the answers as we go through. It'll be very, very simple. And also, any answers or anything, just use the chat room, fire in your ideas. And if
Uh,
you've ever made a basket before, just let us know. And yes, this
Caroline,
is for.
just
Sorry, go ahead, Bobby.
do apologize for the disruption. Some people did have a problem downloading a worksheet.
Okay.
If you are one of those who had a problem downloading it, just take a piece of paper for now. And
Yes.
Caroline, if you wouldn't mind just telling them on which requirement we are, so they can just copy later
Yes.
on the
Perfect.
worksheet. Thank you.
Perfect. Yes. The work. If you hopefully you'll be able to get the worksheet at some point. But we're going to go through the requirements here, and as we go through the presentation, I will draw you to the worksheet as to what we need to do. So the requirements for the basket making for the adventures is just to figure out what a basket is and tell us what it is. And then we also have lots of baskets in our homes. So we're going to discuss a little bit about how many baskets we have in our homes and what do we use them for. Now, we're
But
going to make different types of baskets.
Uh,
Sorry.
there was a question posed by Caroline. You need to repeat the question so people can start writing so
All right. Well,
the question
this one.
was, what is the basket? Is that right?
But yeah, but
Okay.
we
Well,
don't
this
answer
is
now.
at the moment we're just going to do the requirements, and then we're going to go through each individual one. So don't worry about writing anything just yet. I'll let you know when it's time to write. Okay. So name and describe the tools of a basket maker. We'll talk about that. Now we're not going to make or talk about making a big basket, but we will look at what proper basket makers do as well. And we also need to look at how the materials are prepared when somebody is making a proper basket. The next thing is for you, this is where your arts and crafts will come in, where you'll have to do this afterwards, is to make a simple basket from natural materials or decorate a basket used in a way in your home. And then there's two more requirements next, and they are, one of them will be to decorate a basket to be given as a gift. And then we're going to look a little bit about baskets in the Bible. So that's the requirements we're going to look at today. And we'll start off, first of all, of what is a basket. So if you have your wee piece of your worksheet or a piece of paper, we're going to say, does anybody have any ideas how you would describe a basket? Put it into the chat if you have any ideas of what is a basket. I suppose there's different types of baskets, but they can be, yeah, they can, I can see some of the chat answers here, and it says they can be rough. They aren't very soft. This one here in particular, the picture is quite a scratchy one.
A basket is something that holds something.
Yes.
A basket is a picnic basket or smooth. It is to hold things.
Yes, exactly. So it's a container. It's something that holds something. It's made from stiff fibers that have been woven together. It means they've been wrapped in and outside of each other to make it stick together well. And they can be made in different shapes and sizes, and proper baskets are usually made by hand. So we will have somebody who is weaving all the materials together by hand. This is what you want to write down on your worksheet. It is container that holds things, and it's put together by weaving materials, and it's usually woven by hand. Now, obviously this presentation will be there, and if there's a difficulty, if the technical difficulty, Diane, is with the format of the worksheet, I can send it in a different format.
Carol, I don't know what happened, but the link was dead on our web page.
Okay.
So sorry about that. Apology.
All right. Okay. So I can resend it afterwards then if you want, and then.
Yes, please. Yes, please. And I will make sure everybody has it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, no worries. That's great. So what is the basket? So that is one of the questions on the worksheet. Now, the next requirement is to describe different baskets found in your home. So if you use the chat there now, put in different things that you think we would use baskets for in our own homes. And while you're writing that, I'm going to take a wee drink. Yeah, lots of ideas of what we could use baskets for.
We had some answers before this from the Facebook,
Yes.
which we didn't read. But Denise said that the basket is there to store items inside. Michael is to put the things inside, and somebody uses for laundry for when it comes to basket. Bogdan, is there anything for you there?
Yeah, so going to question number 2, which speaks about the different baskets we can have in the house. We have a picnic basket, laundry basket, toy basket, shopping basket.
Yeah. They're very much covered. So I'll go through a couple of them, but I think you've covered most of the what I had thought of as well. So laundry basket, where we put our clean clothes and our dirty clothes. One will take the clothes out to the wash basket, and one will bring them back in again. So everybody, I'm sure, has some form of a laundry basket at home. The next one here we have is a fruit basket. Did anybody? Yes, somebody mentioned food baskets. We can get baskets to put fruit in, all sorts of food. Oh, a sewing basket. Did anybody think of a sewing basket? Sewing baskets are very handy to keep all the sewing stuff if anybody is a sewer at home. And then we have, a rubbish basket. So somewhere to put all the rubbish. You can get big ones and small ones. Now, this one was mentioned a few times, the picnic basket. Yeah, everybody likes to go on a wee picnic. Put up yes in the chat room if you like to go for a little picnic.
All right, you heard Carolyn. If you like the Bogdan, this is your job, man. When Carolyn
Yeah.
poses a question, you need to repeat the question. And so, if you like to go to picnic, say yes in the chat or hit the like button.
They're all saying yes anyway, so everybody likes a picnic.
We love to go for picnic.
Yeah, and somebody did mention shopping baskets. So yes, we need to have shopping baskets when we go shopping, especially in the wee small shops when we don't need a big trolley. Right, this one I liked, hand baskets, lots of big handbags for going out on day trips. Even if you wanted to go to the beach, there's somebody very much likes picnics on the chat room. And this one is good too, storage baskets. So we can store lots and lots of things in our houses. It can be toys, it can be clothes, it can be all sorts of things. Anything. A storage basket can store whatever we want it to store. So that's the storage of the different ideas of what we can do with baskets in our homes. Now, a basket maker will make those baskets using specific tools. Now, we won't need these tools for our baskets that we're going to make because ours are going to be a little simpler. But we'll look at what a real basket maker, a professional basket maker, would use to make those big baskets like our picnic baskets. I think the picnic baskets seem to be the favourite. First of all, they're going to need, now, on your worksheet for this wee section, I have written the words and I just want you to circle them. So on your worksheet, you just need to circle which ones are the tools that are used by the basket maker. So if you can write the words down now if you want, or you can just rewatch this when you rewatch this PowerPoint whenever you get your worksheet downloaded. So the sharp scissors, we're going to need, you can see it's very clear, they need the scissors to cut the different parts to the right size and to the right shape that they need. They'll also use a special type of knife because when they're weaving, they want to be able to trim it down. There'll be wee ends hanging out and they want to trim it and make it nice and neat. Now these are pliers. I'm just going through these because these are big tools. It's more just to let you know what people use because we're not going to be able to use them. But these are pliers and these pliers will be used. You can see what you do with them. You squeeze them and then they'll twist the different parts of the basket basket materials into place because some of the stuff will need to be bent to hold it in a certain shape. You know, when some of the baskets are square like that, we need them to be bent round the corner. Now, this is a bit of an unusual word, awl or bodkin. And I think this is probably the one that will probably be a bit confusing for people. It's a long, sharp instrument. And that will be used for when they want to put, you know, the way there's spaces in the baskets, It'll help them keep everything nice and neat. And they poke that through to straighten it all out. And sometimes they would even use such a thing as a knitting needle. Has anybody seen things like this before? If you've seen a basket maker make a basket, you might have seen some of these things. But if not, yes, it does, Gabriel. It looks like a wand, which is good. Now, a measuring tape is a very simple one. Everybody will know what a measuring tape does. It basically does what it says. It measures so that if they want to make their basket a certain size, they will use their measuring tape. It's a bit like a ruler, but you can roll it up and it's a lot more flexible. Now, clothespins or crocodile clips. Put a wee picture up here to see what they would use them for. So clothes pegs, we use them to hang our clothes on the lines, but clothes pegs have good, you can use them for lots of different things. I use them in arts and crafts a lot to hold things together while you're waiting for the glue to stick. And in the basket making, what you might be able to do is use a clothes peg to hold it together while you finish weaving. And a pencil and sharpener. Now this one I thought, oh, this is good because oops, we're back one. Sorry, I'm going to go back to that one here. Pencil and sharpener. Yeah, so we'll use pencils to mark the basket and we use the sharpener. You can see there on the picture where they've used the sharpener to make the stalks like pencils so that they can be fitted in properly. So it's all that tile and a water bucket. Now, yes, baskets wouldn't be good at holding water, but we do need water to prepare some of the materials when they're making proper baskets from. These here are particularly our willow leaves or willow branches, and they need to be soaked in water to be prepared. So you'll need a towel to set the wet stuff on and water buckets to soak them in. And even some baskets are woven underwater so that they can move the leaves and the branches nice and easily, keep them soft, and then they're all in shape. So they dry in shape and they will hold their shape better.
Caroline, somebody just mentioned on the Facebook chat. He says yes. The owl, my grandmother had one. So there's grandmother was doing this as well.
Oh, fabulous. That is fantastic to hear because some of these tools that basket makers would use would be very old tools that it would much more modern ways of doing things, but the old ways we don't see them the same. But I thought, yes, a bodkin or an awl would be a very old tool. Maybe somebody's grandparents might have actually seen them.
And in
Now,
Gabriel says that it's fascinating.
it is fascinating. I find it amazing. Now, whenever I was younger, a young pathfinder, we did basket weaving, and some of these things we did then. But it's actually quite difficult to find that sort of stuff now for children at adventure age to do because they're so sharp. So we'll not be making them like that. But maybe when you're a bit older and in pathfinders and doing your basket weaving badge then too, you'll be able to do stuff with those that more complicated. But now, before we start making a basket, there's a couple of things we need to do. We need to plan and prepare if we want to know exactly what we're doing. So we're going to choose the style of basket you want to make. And already we'll have seen that there's plenty of different shapes and sizes of baskets to see. So in here, look at these different ones. You'll be able to make like maybe a tall one that would hold pencils or brushes, or little ones that would just hold whatever you want them to hold. They can hold sweets, they can hold whatever. And then they can be made, as you can see, different styles, different colors, different ways of doing it. So first of all, you choose the style, then you want to choose the right materials. And your material that can be used to make your basket can be nearly absolutely anything as long as you can bend it, fold it, and weave it. So you can see there in one of those pictures, they've used twigs and flowers and a bit of wool. And other ones, we can use wool, we can use string, we can use paper, we can use leaves, grass, reeds, anything really. Yes, we can. Gabriel is asking, can we use grass? We can use grass to make a basket. There's a really good website on YouTube that shows you how to make a simple basket just using long bits of grass and putting them in little bundles and tying them together. So we can use all
Okay.
sorts of materials to make baskets. They don't all have to be very complicated. They can be very simple as well and pretty. So we have to start with a base. Every basket has to have a bottom so that it'll stand up. And as you can see here, you can use again lots of different things. Over on the right there or on the left, we have wooden bases, and that's where you would put in the wooden stalks, and use your reeds and leaves. You can use a paper plate, which I'm going to show you pictures of how to make a wee basket bowl using a paper plate and wool. You can use newspapers, which is a very economical, environmentally friendly way to do things. And you can use paper. And again, you could use waste paper so that we're not. Yes, you can. You can use lollipop sticks. We showed that in the one. Now, this one here is choose your spokes. So once you've done your base to your basket, you want to put the walls up. And the walls of our baskets can be made of lots of things too. So here again, you can see there's lollipop sticks. So they're being used as the tall spokes that we're going to use to weave around. In this pictures, you can see that there's willow branches, there's like little sticks, there's paper spokes, and even the one there with the wool around it is just little sticks from the garden, from little branches that have been found. It's very rustic looking, but very, very pretty. So we have to choose our spokes. So first of all, to make your basket, you choose what type of basket, you choose what materials you're going to use, you pick your base, you pick your spokes, and now we're going to move to what we're going to weave onto our baskets. And in this pictures, you can see again, lots and lots of different types of things we can use to weave. So we can use again the paper, we can use there's one there that has macrame, that's strings. We can use wool. We can use even that over in the corner there. It's like real thick cord. Or we can use reeds that would need soaked, because then you can make a very sturdy basket. So obviously, depending on your material will depend on how strong your basket is. And if you know what you want to use your basket for, then it'll be a lot easier to know exactly what materials to use. Summer's asking in the chat, can we use hay? Yes, you can use hay. It's a little bit, probably a little bit itchy on your fingers, but yes, you could use hay. If you're going to go down the road of using reeds and stuff, you will need a little bit of help from your parents. But they're the sort of material that needs soaked before you can use them, because they're quite rigid and hard. And if you want to bend them in and out of your spokes, they will need soaked and softened before weaving. But I recommend at the moment we just stick to something simple with paper or cardboard. But I want to show you, I've got a wee video to show you as well at some point about how to make a basket out of recycled newspapers, because this is a really good way of using up stuff in your house already that will reduce the waste and keep everything nice and environmentally friendly. So make this requirement here, number 5. Make a simple basket of natural grasses, reeds, or other local materials. Or decorate a basket to be used in a practical way in your home, such as used for sewing, trash, berries, or flowers. So we can make a simple basket of natural grasses, reeds, or local materials. So there's one here about recycling. If you can see in this picture, they're using an empty bottle. And in that empty bottle, then they're using those wee balls of material are actually old t-shirts that have been cut into strips and used to weave. So think about the things in your house already that you could recycle to make a basket. So this is where we're going to start. This is you have to make 2 wee baskets as part of your requirements. And the 2 baskets that I would recommend, you can do whatever ones you want. And the way we're going to do this is, because we can't make them together today, I've given you instructions on one on the PowerPoint, and I've given you a video. But when you make your basket, just take a nice picture of it and send it in to Pastor Diane or to your Pathfinder leader, adventurer leader in church. And then we'll be able to see what lovely baskets you've made. But you can make this basket, or you can decorate a basket to be given to somebody as a nice gift. So to do this basket, all we need is a paper plate, a pencil, something round to trace around, so like a big cup or a wee small plate. some wool or string, some scissors and glue and a paintbrush.
I have a question. Is
Yes?
asking what is yarn?
Okay, yarn is wool. It's just a different word of saying wool. You know, things that people maybe would knit with or crochet. So it's like wool, but a string. So and yarn is just I haven't got any sitting here. It's just like a big ball of string or a big ball of wool or material. So this is what we're going to. This is how simple this little basket is to make. And you mark your plate in the center. You draw around the center of your plate and you divide it into the different sections. So in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sections, all evenly out. So you draw around it. Then next, you're going to cut down those wee lines and cut out a little V shape. So it's beginning to look a little bit like a flower at this stage, a very plain flower. Now, this wee bit now, we're going to, once you've it all cut, you fold the sections up. And they'll need it, they're not, that is now what you've got here is your base and your spokes to your basket. And you're going, the wee V shapes allow you to pull it in. So you've got your base and your spokes. Now we're going to bring in our weaving material, which is our yarn, which can be wool or string or even long pieces of material, whatever you want. And you're going to weave it in and out. So you're going to go behind one, in front of the next one, behind, in front, and you're just going to go in and out the whole way round. Use your thumb at the start to tie it, to hold it in, and then you'll have to sort of tuck everything in with a bit of glue at the end. Just keep the sides of keep the wee spokes up nice and straight so that your bowl will be nice and tall. It'll probably be a little bit tricky here, but you might need some help from mummies or daddies or bigger. Maybe if you've got Pathfinder sisters and brothers, they could help you. And that just makes it stand up a little bit more. Now look at these ones. You can do them in whatever colors you want. You can make them all sorts of patterns, or you can have it all the one color. It's up to you. You just keep weaving until you get to about this much off the top, and you can then fold the paper plate down and look at your lovely wee basket bowl you've got there. And if you fold it in and tuck your edges, you can put a wee bit of glue around if you want to secure it, and that will hold it in place. And lastly, look, to finish this little basket off, you can put something in the bottom to make it look a little bit prettier. So wrap some more cord around or more string, or even just if you had a different color of card, you could push it in and glue it into the bottom, and that will finish off your little basket bowl. Now, I think that's quite a straightforward wee one that any one of us could make. And even if you didn't have a paper plate at home, you could actually cut that shape out of a cereal box. And again, just keep it simple and make it as colourful as you like. So that's one, as I say, we have 2 baskets to make, or we can make 1 basket and decorate a basket. But I'm giving you, as I say, 2 baskets to look at. So this is the wee video. We're going to give it a wee second to load up. So tell me what you think. While we're waiting for the video to load up, put into the chat, what sort of, do you think that it would be a simple wee basket just could all try at home?
Yes, says Alex. Aku says yes, it shouldn't be hard. Curtis, yes.
Yes. And again, it's not very difficult, but maybe it'd be a good one to start with till you get the hang of the weaving.
Samuel says yes. Emma, Alwande, all of them are saying yes.
Yes, good, good. Right. Well, I'll let you watch this video. This is actually this one I really like, and I'm going to try it myself. This is one about how to make this particular basket on the screen, using just newspaper, paint, and a bit of glue. Now, when you look at that one, do you know what you could also use? Give me some ideas of what else you could also use to make this type of basket. So while we're watching the video, think of something else that you might be able to use instead of newspaper.
While it's loading, Belle says yes as well.
we all say okay?
To make this basket, you need newspaper, thin cardboard, glue, paintbrush, a thin stick, colors, pins, and scissors. Divide a sheet of newspaper into 4 parts. Now using a thin stick, roll paper tubes. Apply glue at the corner. The number of tubes required depends on the size of your basket. For this basket, I have used 25 tubes. Now take a thin cardboard and cut out 2 circles. The size of your basket will be equal to the size of this circle. Take a paper tube and cut it in half. One of these will open up. Apply glue at this corner. Take one of the circles and glue tubes around it. Use only odd number of tubes. Here I have used 15 tubes. Attach another tube at an angle. Glue the other circle above this. Place something heavy until it dries. Weave using this extra tube, going over and under the tubes all the way around. Over, under, and so on. Add a drop of glue and insert another tube. Continue weaving till the basket is of desired height. You can use pins to hold the tubes. Cut the extra length and apply glue. Use a pin to hold it. like this or paint it.
So on the chat, Bell says it's so cool. And Gabriel says too cool. Yeah, everybody seems to enjoy it. I enjoyed myself.
Oh no, it's a really good video, isn't it? Just trying to get moved on to my next slide, but it's not. It's a really good wee video and very impressive from Samuel and Michael there. It's actually doesn't look that complicated once you get used to rolling up your paper and then putting it together and gluing it. I think yes, and you could use that wee basket for anything. And it's nice and tall. I thought, how good would it be to have that sitting with maybe your pencils and markers for your homeschooling at the moment, when if that's what everybody's doing over here in Ireland, all the kids are being homeschooled. But what I thought, what an alternative to newspaper you could use, somebody has said about hay. This one would be a little bit more complicated to use hay in it, but what about paper straws? You could attach lots of paper straws to things into each other, and you could maybe use magazines. Oh, here we go again. I'm actually having difficulties moving on to my
To make
next one.
this basket, you need
Yes. If you press escape,
Every time I press enter, it's moving me to the next. I'm just going to stop sharing and share it again, but move to the next screen very very quickly if I can. No, there we go. That's us. So our so that there is two ideas of two different types of baskets that could be made very simply at home. And as I say, you don't have to make those two. You can make whatever two baskets you want, because lots and lots of people might be a little bit more creative or might not want to be. And the adventures we have in Belfast, I have a couple of young boys and they like to build lots of things with Lego. And I'm sure you could figure out a way of using Lego to even build wee spokes to wrap string around. Now I want to show you something very before we move on. Somebody asked, what is yarn? Well, this is a ball of wool, and you can get wool in all sorts of colours. Now I love to make things with wool, so there's hundreds of balls of wool in my house, but these are two. So I'm sure people will have string or wool like that in their houses. Yarn is just a term that people use to call all those things, but wool is fine. So here we have the next one. If you want, instead of making two baskets, you can make one basket and you can decorate a basket. Now, if you have a basket at home that has already been made by someone else, you can decorate that up. Maybe put flowers on it, maybe paint it. You could put ribbons through it. There's lots and lots of ways that you could decorate a basket, but it'll depend on who you're giving it to. Maybe you want to decorate it for food to send to somebody who's been sick, or maybe you want to decorate it so that if you have a little pet, they can sleep in the basket. Yes.
Just a few questions which we had on Facebook. Somebody says, well, let me just answer the first simple question. Somebody says, can we watch this on a YouTube? The answer is yes. You'll be able to watch it even tonight. Tomorrow is going to be as well there for you. Somebody asked, can we use any materials to make basket or decorate baskets?
Yes.
And the answer is yes.
Yes. They can make whatever type of basket they want.
Yes.
As long as they make.
A reminder.
Yeah.
Is that when you make your baskets, please do send a picture of your basket to us, because every Wednesday we share those baskets or those arts and craft that you make, and the email that you'll be able to send it is dayan@adventist.uk. I'm going to just put it in the chat so that you guys make sure take a picture and send us your baskets.
In the Zoom chat, Emma is asking if you can use if you can make a Lego basket, but I think Caroline already answered that and
Yeah.
she said yes.
A Lego basket is a really good way. It's not exactly weaving, but you can get the different shapes. If people aren't very, that's what I think. If you want everybody to do something like this, we have to use our imaginations, don't we? So you can maybe make a basket, make the spokes from Lego and weave a little bit of string around it. But now remember, your Lego bricks can break, so it won't be able to hold too much, but it will look nice sitting on your desk at home. So yes, use whatever you want, but I do want to encourage you because I know earlier on we've done the environmentalist award and things. Make sure that we use things about the house so that we can be environmentally friendly. Right. Oops. Now we're going to talk about the Bible. I skipped a slide there, but that's okay. Let's see if we can go back one. It was just to say we're going to look at baskets in the Bible. So the first question I have for you here is oh yeah, somebody's seen this already. Before I even asked the question, they've seen the answer because of me at the start. Can you guess about how many times baskets are mentioned in the Bible? If it's in the chat room already, if everybody looks at the chat, you'll get the answer because Samuel and Michael were very quick there.
We have a Facebook audience as well. We're just going
Yes,
to
please.
give them a few seconds chance. Maybe they haven't paid attention like our Zoom audience. Can you please repeat the question, Caroline? Somebody's
Question
asking.
is, can you guess how many times baskets are mentioned in the Bible?
And you might be surprised. Okay, all right. Caroline, we do not have the answer, so please share with us.
Oh, here we go. Oh, wrong one. Oh no. Right, we have to go back one now. How did that happen? Here we go.
Okay, can we leave?
We've
Can we
we've
say,
skipped a few slides there. Sorry. Right, on Zoom chat they've got it now. It is. I'm just going to escape that and bring us back a wee bit. Oh, screen sharing has stopped. Try again. Here we go. The answer is 46. There we go. 46 times. And because at the start, when I was having a bit of trouble, this answer came up, and a lot of the children were very, very fast and spotted it. So well done, those who spotted that. You were very, very quick. So about 46 times. And my next question is, what do you think the baskets were used in the Bible for? So use the Facebook chat and the Zoom chat, and I will show you a couple of pictures in just a second. If you can tell me a few things that you think the Bible had baskets were used for in the Bible.
okay, so we started to have a few inputs in the chat. Gabriel says to put food in.
Yes, to put food in. That's exactly right. They put food in them, but they used them for lots of
Materials
things.
to carry food. Moses was hid in a
Yes,
basket.
well done, Samuel and Michael. Moses was put in a basket.
Water, I don't know if for water, Moses, okay. Moses was put in a basket.
I think
Um,
to put water in a basket, they would have to have a special lining in it. But then Moses's basket was waterproof. So yeah, yes. So they used the baskets. Was there any chat on YouTube or Facebook there, Diane?
Yes, similar answers like yours, guys.
Yeah. So here we had food in our baskets. They used baskets to carry heavy things. So on the donkey there, they would carry lots of heavy things. And remember, when the children of Israel were the slaves to the Egyptians, they would use baskets to carry the bricks and everything when they were building for them. So they were used for things like carrying bricks and heavy objects, for food, for bread. Um, and then we're going to look at the three stories in the Bible. So the first story I want to briefly look at quickly is the story of Paul. This story is found in the Bibles in Acts chapter 9. Now, for this part on your worksheets, before I go any further, I just want you to draw a picture of one Bible story using a basket. So you don't worry about your worksheets at this point. This is just you're going to draw me a picture. And this is where Paul was saved. When Saul had his experiencing the road to Damascus, and became a follower of Jesus. Some of the Jews did not really trust him because he had persecuted them for so long. And one of his visits, he was under threat, he was in danger. So his friends put him in a basket, lowered him down the side of the house, and then they were able to rescue him from those who were threatening him. Another story some of you have mentioned already is baby Moses in a basket. Now, we all know why baby Moses had to be put in a basket, and that was because the Pharaoh at that time wasn't a very nice man, and he was killing all the babies. And his mum and his sister and all wanted to save him. So they put him in a special basket. And like we've said already, they had to waterproof the basket. And they put him in the river, and the Pharaoh's daughter rescued him. But this was because God was protecting him. And again, I see it's mentioned there in the chat, Jesus feeds the hungry. Jesus feeds the 5,000. So a little boy brought his lunch with him while Jesus was talking. Again, we find this story in the New Testament in Matthew chapter 14. And he was able to feed 5,000 people with just 2 little fishes, 5 loaves of bread in that little boy's lunch basket. This was probably a very small picnic basket, but it fed a lot of people because of the power of God. So these are only 3 of the stories. There's different ones that people will know. And I want you on your worksheet to pick whichever story you want in the Bible that mentions baskets and draw a nice picture for on your worksheet.
Caroline, once
Yes.
again, just a reminder for everybody, when you draw your picture, make sure you send it to us. Every Wednesday, we publish it online. We would love to have your work as well. So thank you.
Perfect. That's right. Everything that you do, you share it with Pastor Diane. The email address there, diane@adventist.uk, is where you send your stuff to. Send photographs of your baskets, of your pictures, and make sure then you send them into your own adventure or club leader so that they can mark off that you've done all the work to get this badge. And the last requirement for this particular award is about using the blanket baskets in the Bible and discuss it. We've discussed the stories, but we've discussed a lot of what baskets are used for. And I want to just spend a wee minute on this one verse, Psalm 81, verse 6. I removed the burden from their shoulders. Their hands were set free from the basket. Now, this verse on your little worksheet, it's done so you can just colour it in. So colour this verse in on your worksheet. And as you colour it in, I want you to read the words to yourself again. I removed the burden from their shoulders. Their hands were set free from the basket. So we've already looked at what baskets can be used for. And we've all know that they carry things. They hold things. People will use them, fill them up and carry them. But that makes them heavy if it's a big basket. And what God is telling us here in Psalms 81 and verse 6 is he wants to remove those heavy things from our lives and to free us from the burdens and the heavy baskets of life. And God loves us. No matter what age we are, no matter what we do, he loves us all. And he wants to lift those heavy burdens. And those heavy burdens can be anything. It doesn't have to be just a basket full of bricks. It can be if we're feeling unwell, if we're being bullied, or if we're just a little bit sad or hungry, or family is sick, or whatever your burden is. Bring that burden to God and ask him to lift that basket away from you. And I want to thank you all now for listening so well. You've been brilliant in the chat rooms on Facebook and on Zoom. And thank you so much for listening to us all today. And I hope you have fun making your baskets. And I cannot wait. I hope, Pastor Diane, you will share them with me, won't you?
I will.
I will see the baskets that you make. And I'm looking forward to it.